before the money hits your account, before the dream house becomes a reality, before the million-dollar deal, the thriving business, the worldwide recognition. There's only one thing that separates those who win from those who just wish. They walk like they already made it. They talk like they already live it. They move like the door is already open. Napoleon Hill studied over 500 successful people and found one pattern. They didn't wait for success to act successful. They acted successful first. Today, I'm going to show you the secret Hill taught about acting as if you're already the person you want to become. And by the end of this video, you'll have a practical method that will literally rewire your subconscious mind to attract the success you desire. But first, let me ask you something. How many times have you caught yourself saying, "when I finally make it," or "if I ever get the chance," or "someday when things work out"? Hill discovered that this one mental habit, waiting for permission from the outside world, is what keeps 98% of people stuck in mediocrity forever. But the 2% who make it, they figured out the reverse formula.
Your subconscious mind is blind. It doesn't know what's real or imagined. It doesn't differentiate between what's happening now and what you're rehearsing in your mind. It only knows one thing: repetition. Here's what Hill discovered in his 25 years of studying successful people. If you keep telling your subconscious, "if I ever get the opportunity," "if someday things work out," "if I can just catch a break," your subconscious will believe you, and it will keep you in that state of waiting forever. But if you consistently feed it, "I am successful, I am focused, I am worthy of abundance," and you act like it, stand like it, speak like it, move like it, then something profound shifts. You see, Hill understood that the subconscious mind is like fertile soil. It doesn't judge the seeds you plant, it simply grows whatever you consistently plant there. Most people plant seeds of doubt, fear, and someday thinking. Then they wonder why their harvest is disappointment. The successful ones discovered the secret. You plant the seeds of your desired reality through consistent mental and physical rehearsal. You don't practice being poor until you get rich. You practice being rich until you become rich. This isn't positive thinking. This is scientific programming of your most powerful mental faculty.
Most people live their entire lives in reverse. They wait for proof to believe. They wait for permission to act. They wait for success to behave successfully. They wait for confidence to feel confident. They wait for love to feel worthy of love. Hill completely flipped this script when he wrote, "Faith is a state of mind which may be induced or created by affirmation or repeated instructions to the subconscious mind through the principle of autosuggestion." Let me break this down for you in plain English. You don't need to see it to become it. You need to become it to see it. Think about it. Every single person who achieved something extraordinary had to believe it was possible before they had any evidence. The Wright brothers acted like human flight was possible when everyone said it was impossible. Henry Ford acted like he could mass-produce automobiles when horses ruled the roads. Andrew Carnegie acted like he could build a steel empire when he was just a poor Scottish immigrant. They all had one thing in common. They opened the door from the inside. They didn't wait for the world to validate their dreams. They validated their dreams through their daily actions, thoughts, and behaviors. Hill called this faith, but it's not blind faith. It's faith backed by consistent action that aligns with your desired outcome. Here's the key insight Hill discovered. The universe doesn't respond to your needs, it responds to your expectations. And your expectations are communicated through how you consistently show up. Now, let me be crystal clear about something. This isn't about lying to yourself. This is about training yourself. This is about becoming the person who naturally attracts what you want. When you walk into that job interview like you're already the CEO, when you sit at your desk like you're already being paid to solve important problems, when you wake up at 5 a.m. like someone who's already earned their freedom, you're not faking it, you're rehearsing it, you're embodying it. You're programming your subconscious to expect it. Think about method actors. They don't just memorize lines, they become the character. They walk like the character. They think like the character. They feel like the character. And for those few hours or months, they are that character. Successful people do the same thing with their goals. They don't just want success, they become it daily through their thoughts, actions, and behaviors. You want to be confident? Start acting confidently. You want to be wealthy? Start thinking and acting like wealthy people think and act. You want to be respected? Start respecting yourself through your choices. This isn't delusion. This is deliberate creation. You're not pretending to be someone else. You're becoming the person you're meant to be.
Here's something most people get backwards. They think belief creates behavior, but Hill discovered the opposite is true. Behavior creates belief. Every time you act with confidence, even when you don't feel it, you teach your brain to believe you're confident. Every time you make a decision without hesitation, even when you're uncertain, you silence the old identity that says, "I don't know what I'm doing." Every time you stand like a winner, speak like a leader, move like someone who belongs, you build neural pathways that support that identity. This isn't motivation. This is neuroscience. Your brain literally rewires itself based on repeated behaviors and thoughts. Hill called this autosuggestion, the practice of influencing your own subconscious through repeated thoughts and actions. But here's where most people mess this up. They try to think their way into new behaviors. Hill taught the reverse. Act your way into new thinking. You don't wait to feel successful to act successful. You act successful until you become successful. Not by accident, not by magic, but by alignment. When your thoughts, emotions, and actions are all pointing in the same direction, you become unstoppable. You're no longer just wishing and hoping. You're systematically programming yourself for success. Let me ask you something tough. You say you want success, but do your daily actions prove it? You want to be respected, but you interrupt yourself with self-doubt every time you speak. You want to be financially free, but you drag your feet like someone sentenced to struggle forever. You want to be successful, but every move, every decision, every word screams, "I don't believe this is possible for me." And Hill would say, you cannot plant corn and expect to harvest roses. If you want success, you must plant success seeds daily, not just in your mind, but in your actions, every single day. Here's what Hill observed about unsuccessful people. They have a success identity crisis. On Monday, they act like they're going to conquer the world. On Tuesday, they act like victims of their circumstances. On Wednesday, they act like they're not sure what they want. On Thursday, they act like success is for other people. On Friday, they act like they'll start again on Monday. This inconsistency creates internal conflict. Your subconscious gets mixed messages. It doesn't know which version of you to support. So it defaults to the most consistent message you send. And for most people, that message is doubt, fear, and "I'm not ready yet." But when you decide to act as if you are already the successful version of yourself consistently, Your subconscious has no choice but to align with that identity. Your external world has no choice but to match your internal consistency.
Most people spend their entire lives reacting to circumstances, to other people's opinions, to fear, to doubt, to whatever happens to them. They're living as effects, not causes. Hill discovered that successful people flip this completely. They understand a profound truth. You are the cause of your experience. You walk into a room and shift the energy through your presence. You speak like someone who knows their value, regardless of who's listening. You show up like someone who belongs at any table, in any room, at any level. Even when they don't see your value yet, you do. Even when they don't recognize your potential yet, you do. Even when the evidence isn't there yet, you act as if it already is. Because that belief isn't based on external proof, it's based on internal decision. Here's what Hill taught. Successful people don't wait for confidence to act confidently. They act confidently until confidence becomes their natural state. They don't wait for respect to respect themselves. They respect themselves until others have no choice but to respect them too. They don't wait for opportunities to act like leaders. They act like leaders until opportunities seek them out. This is the difference between being a thermometer and being a thermostat. A thermometer reacts to the temperature of the room. A thermostat sets the temperature of the room. Most people are human thermometers. They react to their environment. Successful people are human thermostats. They control their environment through their energy, decisions, and consistent actions.
Not someday. Not after the promotion. Not after you lose the weight. Not after you make the money. Not after you get the recognition. Now. Right now in this moment, decide, I am powerful. I am clear about what I want. I am a force for good in this world. I am worthy of success. I am capable of achieving extraordinary things. And then, here's the crucial part. Act accordingly. Because Hill didn't teach us to wait for permission. He taught us to grant ourselves permission through our daily choices. Once you decide who you are and start acting like that person consistently, the world has no choice but to catch up. But here's what most people miss. This isn't a one-time decision. It's a daily practice. It's a moment-by-moment choice. It's a consistent way of being. Every morning you wake up and decide, who am I going to be today? Every conversation you decide, how does the successful version of me handle this? Every challenge you decide, what would the person I want to become do in this situation? This is what Hill called definiteness of purpose, backed by consistent action. You're not hoping to become successful someday. You're being successful right now in every way that's available to you. Now, let me give you the exact steps to implement this in your life, based on Hill's teachings. Step 1. Define your future self. Write down a detailed description of the person you want to become. Not what you want to have, but who you want to be. How does this person think? How do they speak? How do they carry themselves? What decisions do they make? How do they spend their time? Step 2. Create your daily identity ritual. Every morning, before you check your phone or start your day, spend 10 minutes in what Hill called auto-suggestion. Read your description of your future self out loud. Visualize yourself being that person. Feel the emotions of already being that person. Set one intention. Today, I will act as if I am already. Step 3. The as-if challenge. For the next 30 days, before every important decision, ask yourself, how would the successful version of me handle this? Then do exactly that, even if it feels uncomfortable. Step 4. Physical embodiment. Change how you carry yourself. Stand taller. Make eye contact. Speak slower and with more conviction. Dress like the person you want to become. Take up appropriate space in conversations. Step 5. Mental rehearsal. Hill discovered that successful people mentally rehearse their success daily. Spend 15 minutes each night visualizing yourself successfully handling tomorrow's challenges as your future self. Step 6. Track your identity shifts. Keep a simple daily log. How did I act as if today? What evidence did I create that I'm becoming this person? How is my behavior changing? What shifts am I noticing in how others respond to me? Remember, you're not trying to convince others you're successful. You're convincing your own subconscious mind that success is your natural state.
Picture this. It's the final scene of your life. You're looking back at everything you've accomplished. Where are you? What do you see around you? Who have you helped? What problems did you solve? What legacy have you carved into time? How many people are better off because you existed? Now, reverse engineer that vision. The person sitting in that final scene, successful, fulfilled, proud of their journey, that person had to make a decision at some point. They had to decide to stop waiting for permission. They had to decide to stop acting small. They had to decide to embody their potential instead of hiding from it. Maybe that decision happens today. Maybe it happens right now as you're watching this video. Start living as that version of yourself. Not next year when you have more experience. Not next month when you feel more ready. Not next week when you have more confidence. Now. Because Hill taught us the ultimate truth. The future isn't something that happens to you. The future is something you create through who you decide to be in the present moment. And greatness, as Hill said, belongs to those who believe first and act as if their belief is already reality. Your success story doesn't start when you make it. Your success story starts the moment you decide to act as if you already have. The question isn't whether you're capable of extraordinary success. Hill proved that anyone can achieve it. The question is, will you start acting like it today? If this video just shifted something inside you, if you can feel your future self calling you to step up, if you're ready to stop waiting for permission and start creating your reality through your daily actions, then I need you to do something right now that proves you're serious about this transformation. Hit that subscribe button, not just because you enjoyed this content, but because you're making a commitment to yourself that you're going to keep learning and growing into the person you're meant to become. Give this video a like if you're ready to start acting as if you already are the successful version of yourself. That simple action is your first step in practicing what Hill taught. And here's the most important part. In the comments below, write this exact phrase, "I am ready to act as if." Don't just think it, write it. That's your public commitment to yourself and to your future. Because the moment you start acting as if you're already the person you want to become, you begin the transformation that Hill promised. You stop being someone who wants success and start being someone who attracts it naturally. Your new life is waiting for you to step into it. The only question is, are you ready to act as if it's already yours? Subscribe now, hit that like button, and let's build your empire together. Your future self is counting on the decision you make right now.